January 1992, historical events of January 1992. So I'm just going to scroll through here, kicking it off. This is when the bowl games back then, college football. So it's bowl game time. All right. You guys may remember the old bowl game format where, especially the Pac-10 and Big Ten, were just stubbornly locked into the Rose Bowl no matter what, right?
Sure.
So, any guesses? And that's not like leading the question or anything, but any guesses as to who won the national championship in 1992? Do you guys remember?
Are you serious?
Miami, right? Or
Wesley, you, you agree or you got a different guess?
Oh, well, I'm questioning it a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's Alabama. But
Well,
maybe Miami and Alabama was 93?
maybe Miami and Alabama was 93 because in
Yeah.
the Orange Bowl, Miami beats number 11 Nebraska 22-0. Right. Meanwhile, in the Rose Bowl, number 2 Washington beats number 4 Michigan 34-14. So, who? I mean, I think we all remember Miami was the declared national champion that year, but looking back on it now, a number 2 versus a number 4 game, and then
Okay, yeah, I kind of remember that.
in your Orange Bowl, you got number 1 versus number 11. You know, this the system was messed up for a really long time. We all
It
know
was
that.
bad. Yeah,
yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. That's legit bad. I
yeah,
don't remember it being bad because I didn't care at the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
I gave
Because
zero Fs.
right, because well, you know, for most of us around here, it was like you know SEC, you know, or it just wasn't so clear, especially you know Washington being, you know, we're southeast Washington, West Coast, like who's Washington, you know, of course Miami's the national champs.
Well, for me, it was more, I was still kind of fresh to the South at that point. I hadn't even really picked a favorite college football team. Coming from Arizona, I could have cared less. I knew Lakers basketball and Phoenix Suns basketball and whatever. Heard of the Yankees, heard of the major sports teams, but I was all about skateboarding and rock, Def Leppard and New Edition and stuff. So 92 was right around the time that I kind of started paying attention to sports. And that was also right around the time that I was really receiving pressure to you've got to pick a team, Alabama or Auburn. That was the
yeah.
scope of my football interest in 92 was, well, you really got to pick a team from them.
Right. Because I came from Atlanta. My dad was a Tech fan, so by default, I was a Georgia Tech fan.
I remember that
And
now.
Yeah.
yeah, so when I moved here, I was like, I'm a Georgia Tech fan. And everyone's like, no, you've got to be Auburn, Alabama.
But yeah, sure, you're a Georgia Tech fan, but who are you really a fan of, Alabama or Auburn?
Yeah,
I
That's
and
resisted.
awesome.
I
Did you ever
resisted.
decide? That's the thing. You always resisted. You don't have a dog in the fight at all, huh?
No, I think
well,
somewhere around 90. Oh, between 91 and 93, maybe. No, probably earlier than that. I'm like, I want a far away team. So, and then I took a trip to Michigan. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a Michigan fan.
And so it began.
his love for Tom Brady.
You know what?
It served me
I've
well.
never, ever, 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 ever pieced those two things together ridiculously. I've never pieced those two things together because I don't feel like you speak about that much, like Tom Brady and the Michigan years and the beating Alabama in the epic end to a college career. That
Yeah, well,
yeah, Tom Brady's had a life, bro, and a
he
career.
had a coming out party in the NFL, but it made the transition easy because I also, you know, I just honestly I decided I was going to be a Chargers fan
That's right.
before
Yeah.
I even knew
Yeah,
what pro football was about. You know, I'm like this. You know, when you're 10 years old, you're like, well, their helmets look the most like Michigan's helmets. That's what I'm going to do, right?
All right.
And I stuck with them a long time, but they were just so frustratingly terrible. And I'm like, well, here's a Michigan guy I can latch on to, and you know, hey, that worked out. So
I
Fair enough.
remember Daniel always coming talking about Natron means. Natron means. Natron means business.
He had a cool name.
Who is Natron Means? Remind me who he is.
He was the running back
Yeah.
I thought so.
for the
Okay.
Chargers.
That's
And
right. Yeah, okay. Kind of.
then-
I'm saying that's right. Like I truly remember. I kind of remember that guy.
Junior Seau was on that team too, right?
Junior
Part of his
Seau was the big deal.
30-year decree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a 30-year career.
Yeah, shout out to Junior Seau. Rest in peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because then he went to the Patriots.
That's right. He ended his career in the Patriots. Yeah. So that was cool. I was happy for him that he got to come play for a winning team for a while. Now Phillip Rivers could just go somewhere. I'd be happy for him too.
Did he get a ring? Did Seau get a ring?
I'm pretty sure Seau got a ring. Yeah.
Mhm.
In one of the early Brady Super Bowls, one of the first couple, I think.
Yeah, one of the early Brady Super Bowls, aka the
The defense wins championships.
defense and
years.
Vinatieri Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. One of the let's win by just kicking so many field goals. This Boston Celtic becomes the 5th player in NBA history to register 2,000 career blocks.
Boston Celtic fifth player. Boston Celtic blocks. So it's either Parrish or McHale, right?
Yeah, Robert Parrish. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to what was his nickname? The Chief.
Yeah, Chief.
Robert Parrish and the Celtics. Oh my God.
8th
Like,
Jan.
I wish I hated him for real, but I don't. I wish I hated him.
I've always tried to get with the Celtics, because it would be easy for Boston and all, but
Sure.
I don't know. I just can't click with them.
I don't know how you can look at whatever. I come from a Lakers family. I had forgotten that I never really forgot it, but I forgot how much of a Lakers family until a recent visit out west. It's like, oh yeah, everybody Lakers, gotcha. That's where that is. So with that said, I wish I hated the Celtics. Like I wish I hated Auburn, but I don't really. I respect them both. Moving on. Sorry.
January 7th, AT&T releases the video telephone. Retail $1,500. Isn't
This
that?
is when?
This is in January of 1992. AT&T releases a video telephone, $1,500.
Okay.
So,
Like, what was 2 megapixel or something?
oh gosh, who knows? I didn't look up the specs on it. That would be an interesting. January 8th, George H.W. Bush gets ill and is sick on the Japanese Prime Minister's lap. That was I didn't remember that.
Is that a thing?
That was a thing. Yeah.
Our president got sick and threw up in the
Yeah.
Japanese prime minister's lap.
Yep.
You guys don't remember that?
I vaguely
Like-
remember it.
That was big news.
Bruh. You think I cared at all. The
Not
president.
Yeah.
Who's the president? It's not Ronald Reagan. Whatever.
Yeah,
The president was MC Hammer. What are you talking about? That was Snoop Dogg in '92. That's the president. What are you talking about?
Soap Opera Digest Awards, January 92. Any guesses on the winners?
Soap Opera Digest Awards?
Yes, it was like what's the best soap opera of 92?
Oh,
As
I might
voted.
have a guess. So for me, it's you guys have any opinion of this at all?
No,
I
I
was-
never watched the stories.
So the thing with soap operas is I feel like you are almost like loyal to the channel and not the show. Like if your soap
Reading my
operas
mind, absolutely.
came on ABC, NBC, or CBS. I was an ABC guy.
I was an ABC guy also. So All My Children, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital.
Yeah, Days of Our Lives, the winner.
Yeah, because it's the best. Why? Because it's the one that was on after school. It was the one I saw the end of, so I was interested in it. Not long enough to sit through All My Children, which came on afterwards, but I'll get home and eat a snack and watch the end of Days of Our Lives with my mom. That's what that is, I think.
I feel like at some point General Hospital was coming on late, and I remember seeing a lot of it.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. General Hospital. General Hospital after All My Children. Is it All My Children that would have been on in the middle? And Days of Our
Probably.
Lives was the first one.
That sounds exactly right to me.
Yeah, Days of Our Lives, All My Children, and that's the one I saw the end of. And you get to see Lucy, not Lucy Lou. What's the chick's name?
Lucy something.
What's her
She's
name?
like the face
Richie.
of.
Rich. She's the face of soap operas for me
For,
and you, the
yeah.
ABC kids. What is her
Oh my
name?
gosh.
What was her character's name? What is her character's name? Because she's still
Oh,
at it, I
was her
think.
character's name Erica?
Erica Kane.
Yeah.
And her name is.
And she went forever without winning the daytime
That's
Emmy.
yeah. I was like, how is she not winning anything? She's so beautiful and amazing and beautiful and just a brilliant actor and beautiful. So that was me going through puberty. She was a for sure hottie, and now she's like a 98-pound grown woman.
For all I know, she's still at it. I don't know.
I think she's still at it. I'm pretty sure she's still at it. I feel bad for not knowing her name.
AFC Championship, the Buffalo Bills beat the Denver Broncos 10-7, and in the NFC, the Redskins beat the Lions 41-10.
Who did? Who beat the Lions?
The Redskins, Washington Redskins. I know it was hard to
Wait,
register in your brain that the Redskins could have been good at some point, but
hold on. So did the Redskins win the Super Bowl that year?
well, we're gonna get to that in a minute. I'll give you a moment to think about it. Bills versus Redskins.
Yeah, I feel like that
Yeah.
was that streak of Bills losses, right?
4 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and spoil it. Yeah, the Redskins are going to beat the Bills in the Super Bowls. I don't think did the Bills ever win a Super Bowl with what's his
Not
name
during
with
that
the guy?
run.
No, no, not with Kelly.
Yeah,
No.
U.S.
Thurman Thomas and
Yeah, that like one of the best teams to never win a Super Bowl, but somehow managed to get there year after year. U.S.
Well,
serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer pleads guilty but insane on January 13th.
I don't know if one of each your neighbors is insane, then what kind of world are we living in?
Golden Globes winner, big movie winner, the movie Bugsy. I never saw it.
Oh, Bugsy
It's a
with
crime movie, right? Like a mob-ish
yeah. What's the
kind of
guy's
movie.
name that played Dick Tracy?
Yep, that
Yeah,
guy.
that guy.
That guy
Warren
was Bugsy.
Buffett.
Warren
Not
Beatty.
Warren Buffett.
Warren
That's him.
Beatty. Yeah.
Sorry, Warren Buffett. But Warren Beatty, whatever he had a career.
All
Wasn't
right.
he the Gigolo?
Who?
Warren Beatty. He played in that movie. Is that a movie? The Gigolo.
The Gigolo.
Yeah, I
No,
think Warren.
that was Rob Snyder, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's Deuce Bigelow. Warren Beatty played so, but no doubt, I'm with you. I think Warren Beatty played I'm a Prostitute movie. Whatever. Male prostitute. That's awesome.
January 19th, WWF crowns a world champion for the vacated world title in the Royal Rumble. Any guesses on who won the 1992 Royal Rumble?
1992 Royal Rumble to claim the vacated title.
World Championship, yep.
92.
This is a tricky one.
So it's somebody weird that they were giving like a lifetime achievement to, probably.
Well, once you know, okay, so any guesses before I tell you? I mean,
Sergeant Slaughter.
See, that's a fine guess. Any of the big names from the early 90s is a fine guess.
right. What's his face? Superfly.
The best guess is always to say Hulk Hogan, right? But this is
Right.
not him either. Nature Boy Ric Flair, in his brief WWF run,
Okay.
won that Royal Rumble. That's why it was going to be a tricky one. Lex Luger, WCW champion at the same time. Here's a good one. January 21st, Bill Cowher becomes head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was a good move.
When was this? 93?
92. So it would have been
92,
headed
which was
into
the
the
92.
it would have been headed into the 92 season to come. Yeah. So man,
Okay.
that gives him
And
He was,
he had quite a run, didn't he? This feels like
yeah.
He got his rings win?
oh gosh, not in the 90s.
No, it was.
Um,
I mean,
He
it's
got him with
Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger. Yeah.
yeah, both with Roethlisberger. So that was
Man, what's that family name? The Rooney family? They're loyal to their coaches, huh?
Yeah, that's always been the reputation there. The coach typically, steps down unless it just gets disastrous.
But Thomason's done a good job too, though. I'm a fan of his.
He's the reason that I like the Steelers as much as I do. It's just really more that I like the coach than the team so much.
I've got like this weird, I don't know, like this weird feel about him in that I feel like he should be on the hot seat all the time, like at this point in his career. And the fact that he's so clearly is not is this media darling feels very strange and unauthentic to me in some situations. I'm like, okay, where are they? I'll just call a spade a spade. It feels weirdly, aggressively non-racial. Like, okay, well, if he was a white guy and he was failing this much, would he be on the hot seat? Is my perspective on it. But whatever, that's just me. I think he's awesome and he's entertaining and he gives great speeches and blah, 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 blah. And he doesn't put a bad product out there. It's not his fault that the players that they've gotten have been nutcases.
Right. I get where
Or
you
Apparently they show love to Cowher. Like, if they
Yeah.
gave, what's his face, 15 years or so, it seems, then okay.
Injuries keep
Yeah.
getting them too, though.
Yeah, I mean, I understand your perspective on that, or how how that could be a thought, but also
Right.
like you got to say, well, we're going to get rid of Tomlinson and replace him with who? Like
Right.
who's better, really? And there's not many
Yeah.
names that you can pull out and be like, well, he'd be better,
And if they got rid of Tomlinson, somebody else is going to get rid of their coach to scoop him up.
Absolutely, yeah, he knows what he's doing. But yeah, I think Cass has got a point there. They just have been reasonably unlucky for a lot of years with injuries.
Yep. Personnel problems.
All right.
Coach problems.
So wrapping back around to the Super Bowl, January 26th, in the Metrodome in Minneapolis, Redskins beat the Bills 37-24. Can anybody tell me the name of the Redskins quarterback?
Greasy?
No.
No, that's
That's a little later, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know if I'm even going to get his name right. He's the MVP of the game. Mark Ripien? Is that right? Does that sound halfway right? Anybody?
No clue. I
Yeah,
got no clue who that is.
Yeah, same.
Cheers to Mark Ripien.
Big winners at
Wherever you are,
the
walking around with your Super Bowl ring.
yeah, he's got a ring, so it doesn't matter if we know who he is.
And I bet he did that commercial. He probably, if you
He's going to Disney
did
World.
that commercial ever in your life, do you hold on to the recording of it and randomly throughout life find a way to show it to people?
Oh, it's just on loop. I
Right.
got a TV set up in my house, so that's
It's
all it
somewhere,
does.
right? Like in the bathroom.
in the foyer, like people walk in the house.
Boy,
It's just-
that's the classy place for it. If it can ever be classy, that's the classy place for a continuous loop. I'm in the house of Super Bowl MVP Mark Ripien.
This is going to
He
be
went to
my
Disney.
version of Rick rolling.
Send in the link to your friends now that it's on
Yeah.
YouTube. But guys, check out this cool
Yeah.
video. I'm going to Disney World.
We got to find a video of him saying, "I'm going to Disney World,"
Absolutely, absolutely.
and I need that in random drops for the rest of my life.
It'll
Shout out to Mark Ripien.
watch me make it happen. January 27th, the AMA Music Awards. Big winners are CNC Music Factory and Michael Bolton.
Interesting.
But on the downside, on the same day, Mike Tyson goes on trial for rape. He is found guilty.
Oh no!
That was
the end of an era.
I know, it was a heartbreaker.
That's a heartbreaker.
The photo beside this is showing current day Mike Tyson with the big face tattoo, and it's just even
It
more
bothers me
heartbreaking.
still.
Yeah,
It bothers me still, and I know like he's become beloved character. Face tattoo. Mike Tyson is a beloved American sweet darling. He is right now, right? But it still is a little bit unnerving to me, and he
right.
that the fighter in him probably wants it that way. So whatever. Cheers to Mike Tyson. I think he's awesome, and I wish his life had been a little bit nicer.
Yeah, he had a rough upbringing.
Yeah.
January
Yeah, shout out.
27 was a big day. Same day. Music awards, Tyson, and presidential candidate Bill Clinton and Jennifer Flowers accuse each other of lying over her assertion that they had a 12-year affair. So this
Bill's is shit. I was only with her for 11. Everybody knows that.
define 12 years.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
Depends on what your definition of 12 is.
Bill Clinton. Shout out to Bill.
That is the month in review for January '92. Let's move into movies. All right. So let me throw out some stats here. All right. Released in theaters in January '92. Released in January '92 at least of prominence. 11 movies. Right. But of those 11 movies, only 5 of them actually found like relevant nationwide. This is a real release.
Okay.
Of these 5, looking through them myself, I could only remember 2 of them. I've since kind of refreshed myself and can remember 3. I can throw some trailer links in the Discord chat here if you guys want to see something. But there's only one that I can remember the tagline to. Okay, I'm going to give it to you. I'll start off with the number 5 movie. Just yes or no. Can you even remember this movie? And it's called Free Jack.
Free Jack. The name sounds familiar. I would have to see, at the very least, the poster for it. A poster for it. Free Jack. Whoopi Goldberg, maybe?
So Free Jack stars Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger.
Wow.
Nope.
Way off.
And let me just test this out. I don't know if you're like
The quizzes that I pulled are from January of '92. My
excellent.
one star review ratings.
Okay. Oh, maybe we should do that first, just in case. All right, so
Don't want to give out our spoilers.
all right, yes, because I've got number 4. It has a tagline that I wanted to see if you guys can remember. But let's transition into Cass's 1-star review movie trivia, where Wesley and I try to guess the movie based on a terrible review. What do you got for us?
All right, here we go. The first movie, again, was released in January of 1992.
All right.
This reviewer said, none of these are my words. These are 100% pulled from the internet. So all hate mail goes to whoever this person is.
We'll
Sure.
give you their name.
Shout out to them.
This movie was a PSA, everyone. This is what thugs look like. Please hide your women and children, lock your doors, and put away your valuables because we have 4 young black men dressed in urban gear, grabbing their crotches, skipping school, and listening to hip-hop. This movie was awful. 4 homies with no real future roam the streets on a daily basis, smoking, fighting, stealing, and screwing instead of, I don't know, going to school. They were all of high school age and presumably still enrolled. The most violent of them wanted everyone to fear him, but how is that possible when you're about 5'10", 160 pounds?
It's Juice.
Juice, you got it on?
It was, yeah, I had it, but it wasn't fair because it is the one movie that I've watched the trailer for today. Because all I remembered was the tagline was, do you guys remember it? How far will you go to get it? It's like Juice. How far will you go to get it? And
That's a legit tagline.
I forgot that Tupac was in that movie.
What?
Yeah,
That's the Tupac movie.
like that's like the coming out movie. I would think for him. Yeah.
I guess him and was it Omar Epps?
Yep.
Or yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah. and
shout
I'm
out
like,
to Juice.
I'm like,
And then you get you know what? So obviously the line to remember from the movie is "You got the juice now," or whatever it was that he said at the end. But essentially, you've got the juice now. The line that really sticks with me is, it was Samuel L. Jackson, right? No, it wasn't Samuel L. Or was it?
I think it was because I thought that was him in the trailer I watched today.
Slid down a razor blade slide into an alcohol barrel or whatever it was, but the thought of sliding down a razor blade slide into further pain, a salt bath, or an alcohol pool, or whatever it was that he said, has always stuck with me as the thought from that movie more so than remembering anything else. That's the thing I took away
Right.
most, sliding down some razor blades.
When Tupac pulled that razor blade out of his mouth, that was like the coolest thing in the world to me.
I started practicing
Sure.
keeping razor blades in my mouth because of that.
How long did it take you to stop?
I never stopped, but I never I never went all in. You know, like I would never like go more than like 30 minutes. Because, you know, I'm clumsy. What's going to happen when I trip on something? And
Yeah, I tried it. I'm good on this. I tried it for a few minutes. Nah.
Who the heck am I blading? You know, that's
Right,
We're
because you're
all-
going to
we're all
slice up.
delusional that we're in these same situations as these movies we're watching when we're kids,
That's what good art does for you, though.
right?
In the best of cases, you fully immerse yourself into the world. Music, pictures, whatever. Plays. All right, so shout out to Juice, Tupac, Omar Epps.
That is the number 4
Similar.
movie. So 5 was Free Jack, 4 was Juice, just coincidentally. So
Sure.
what else
What you got
for
next,
us,
Cass?
Well, that was the only one from January, because the other ones I didn't think you guys would have any shot at guessing, because
Oh yeah, fair enough.
All right.
But we'll take a surprise from another month if you got one.
all right.
That's awesome. Okay. Because this Free Jack, if it's anything like Free Jack, I've got no clue. I don't.
Emilio.
Yeah, I tried to stick to popular movies that I figured we all have seen or at least heard of.
That one of us had a shot at having watched because of the popularity, right?
All right, you guys ready for the second one? This one's coming. Well, I won't tell you the month because that might give something away.
Yeah, let's make it hard. Let's make this one.
All right. I loved this film when I was 14. However, some 21 years later, and it doesn't hold up well and is actually fairly wank. The characters are downright annoying, and some of the jokes are cringeworthy. The only part that I laughed at was the stick up in the off license. That's the first review. Any clues, guesses?
A stick up in the. No. So for a moment, my guess was Cruel Intentions, but then it went a different direction. So no, I've still got a guess.
And I'm reading this typos and all, so that. You want another one?
Oh, I'm muted. I'm sorry. Okay. What was that last word? It was the stick up. The last word was the only whatever was the stick up in the
off license.
The off license. What is that?
That's how the guy put it. The review. That's what he typed in.
That's all we get because that's how he wrote it.
All right. Next review.
A dumb comedy drama that comes off as slightly racist. That's his full review.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so it's making fun, or it's got some stereotypes in there.
Something, yeah.
Something. You got any more reviews? Let's go with one more if we can't.
Do we have one more for this?
All right. Yes. Has a decent enough plot, but features the same thing over and over again. The constant bad mouth language is way over the top, and the movie drags past more suitable endings than the ending it provides.
Is it?
I don't know.
Is it
what you got?
Is it a Jay and Silent Bob movie?
No.
Huh.
Is it a comedy?
Yes.
Is it Office Space?
No.
No, crap.
I give up.
It's one that we actually just talked about recently.
What is it?
Is Dave Chappelle in it?
No.
Okay.
There's a tank top in the movie.
Is it White Men Can't Jump?
It is White Men Can't Jump.
Really? That's wild. I feel like that one crossed my mind early on in your. That's funny. Okay.
I never considered that a comedy, but maybe.
Yeah, I'm totally with the comedy aspect. It was.
I mean, I guess so. Anything with Woody Harrelson at that time was going to have.
What do you consider lighthearted entertainment. It's not feel good entertainment, and it's not. I don't know what. That's weird. There's
I mean,
a genre in there that
It's a dramedy.
it's a dramedy. That's good. That's good. It's a dramedy.
Because a
Oh,
lot of the basketball scenes are funny, especially
Right. Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
trash talking, and
For sure. There's a lot of laughs to be had in that movie.
I'm guessing the stick up in the off license is when the guy goes to rob the convenience store so that he could pay the money he for the
That's right.
for the bet.
Right. Right. That's funny. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch that one again. I haven't seen that movie in forever, ever. My mom ain't no astronaut.
no. All right, I was trying to send a link to this poster of this next movie. It didn't work out for me. So the next number 3 in the box office this
That's
month
good.
was Cuffs with Christian Slater. Anybody remember that?
Cuffs with Christian Slater. Nope, I'm gonna have to look at it again. That's what she said.
Number 2. I still don't know what this is. So number 2 is called Shining Through.
That sounds kind of familiar. I need
That
to be
sounds
looking.
that sounds like one of those Christian movies that should have been straight to
It
DVD,
does
but
totally.
ended up in the theater somehow.
What's old boy's name? That does all the
Oh,
Kirk Cameron.
Kurt
Yes.
Cameron. Good call. Shout out to Kurt Cameron, living the good life, randomly making a plethora of Christian movies. And that was, hold on, but this is Shining Through. What was the first one that we were supposed to be looking up?
Cuffs with Christian Slater. I just linked a trailer for Shining Through, which I have not watched myself either. So I don't recognize it. Is it Michael? Is that Michael Douglas? Yep, Michael Douglas.
So the Young Guns crew. Who is your favorite? I put them all together. Like all those guys are an
Oh.
80s version of the Rat Pack, if you will.
Maybe it was Emilio for me out of that batch.
Yeah, I don't know.
I need to go
I
back.
think Christian
and,
Slater for me.
Oh, I do love Christian Slater. I'm gonna change
Yeah.
my answer. Christian Slater, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if you guys remember the number 1 movie of January 1992. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Yeah.
Boom.
Rebecca De Mornay. Do you guys remember this?
Yeah,
Let me see if
because she's super hot.
Right.
Because she's super hot. Like, oh yeah, blondes can be totally hot and creepy and edgy, but not real. I don't know. Blondes have never really been. I say they're not really my thing. Like on a walking around the world daily basis, but there are some amazing blondes out there, and that chick is one for the memory banks.
This is a dark movie. Do you guys remember watching it? Let me read the plot to you.
I didn't watch it, but I knew what it was about.
Yeah, when she was assaulted by her doctor, Claire Bartel reported him to the police, and rather than go to prison for his crime, he killed himself. The shock of the accusations and suicide caused the doctor's pregnant wife, Peyton, Rebecca De Mornay, to have a miscarriage. Driven mad with rage, Peyton poses as a nanny for the Bartel family. Her plan, to tear Claire's life apart, seduce her husband, and eventually murder the woman she blames for ruining her life. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all while being beautiful.
A feel-good movie. Yeah, I think the whole movie is just about her seducing the husband, right? Or that's what the trailer would have you believe, anyway.
You want to take? We're gonna take a little turn toward off wax potentially. So there's that movie, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, but the better version of that story. Do you remember the one that we used to watch at Chris Finney's house, or that we watched that night at Chris Finney's house? Were you guys there? It may have
I
just
don't-
been.
I
I
remember
never stayed at Chris Finney's.
The only-
You never spent the night at Chris
the
Finney's.
only movie I remember
No.
watching at his house was 12 Monkeys.
Okay, it wasn't 12 Monkeys then. There was me and probably Derek and I'm gonna say at least one other person who I don't know why, but we spent the night at Chris. Well, because he was our friend. Anyway, at his house we watched this movie Scorned, and it's essentially the same thing, where this scorned woman is upset at the family and works her way into the family as a housekeeper or something. I don't know what she was. What she was like a sex machine for for the old Skinamax, and she was awesome. It was the chick that was married to the Kiss singer.
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about because she was in
Yeah,
all those late night movies.
she was in all those movies.
What
Yeah,
was her name?
Shannon Tweed, is that?
Yes,
that sounds
yes,
right.
that is it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that movie
Uh,
Scorned. That was the better version of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle because she was hot, and I love pool. And I'll just leave it there.
All right.
All right.
We'll transition into music. Wesley, I don't think have you looked at the top 100 for January 1992 lately?
I was about to say it ever about a billion times because
Because we've had to. in the
we're
past,
us.
right?
Because we are us. All right, but no, not recently. What
All
you
right.
got?
All right. So Cass has already looked at it. So I will play this with you. Give me. You don't even have to give me a song. Give me an artist, and I just want to see if you can guess the number one. But let's just see how close you are if you can get somebody in the top 10 for me.
If I can get somebody in the top 10,
Yeah.
like Bolton, then, right? We've already
Oh,
established.
playing it so safe.
Yeah,
but
we've
he's
already
not in
established.
the top 10
Oh,
this month. He was probably winning
okay.
accolades based on his previous year's performance.
All
I
right. So,
think you'll be
can I get
pleasantly
another guess?
surprised with the number
Janet
one
Jackson.
song. Close. You're so so very close. It's in the family.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay, cool.
Uh,
So Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson, Black or White, number one
Perfect.
song
Okay.
of
Cool.
January 92.
I feel like they never competed with each other.
Maybe that, you know what? Maybe we weren't smart enough to see that, but maybe they did offset their album releases.
You know what I mean? Like thinking back on it,
I'd have to go back
and
and like study that now.
yeah. And I don't even know that that's a thing, that type of a competition, but initial thought is that it is a thing. Like, oh, competing albums out at the same time. But what that also would have done, and the world will never see this, is them going on tour together and breaking the planet. I'm not sure that the planet could have handled that.
They would need that 60,000 seats in the Tokyo Dome. They would need something bigger than that.
Janet's the opening act, though, right? So it's
Maybe that's why they never went on tour together, because you could really. Yeah, I think we'd all sit here and say Janet's the opening act, but I don't know if you could have told Janet that.
I think she could. It's her big brother, and they're like at the end of the day, there's some small town kids from Gary, Indiana, who got their asses beat. She's got some
Daily.
humility. Yeah, she's got some humility in her, and she could have been like, "Yeah, he's my big brother, and he's the king of pop. Like people love me, but little Asian girls are suffocating to death looking at him." So,
Passing out just looking at a photo of him. The
yeah.
90s was a great time to be alive. Girls would pass
Right on.
out because they saw a photo of somebody.
Oh man, and I couldn't wait for it to be my turn to be that guy. Strangely, it never happened.
There's not yet. That's just because technology evolved.
'Cause they
it-
haven't discovered the Madden Men yet.
right. They're just one click away from passing out.
No doubt. All right. Are we doing any? Am I taking any other guesses? Or are we good?
We'll be good, but it's a good month in the top 10. We got Michael Jackson, Black or White. Number 2, Color Me Bad, All for Love. Number 3, Mariah Carey, Can't Let Go.
You know what I just realized thinking about music? We're in 92. We're not starting back in 90 again.
Right,
And
so you haven't seen
we've
this
firmly
as much.
established 90. Yeah, not nearly as much. 92 is when we were waiting on. 92 was the golden year we were waiting on.
This is the golden year. I put a
Yeah.
link at the very top of the Discord channel we're in right now. There's a link to this top 100. I'm not gonna name them all. I'm gonna go down and Cash. You got it. If you're still looking at it, you can call a few notable ones out. Diamonds and Pearls by Prince is number 6.
Awesome.
Boys to Men's in the top 10 with So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday. Number,
That I love your smile. That was
Oh,
a big.
Great
it
song.
was
Ooh, I
a
love it.
yes. It was on the radio all the time. It is the
That was
only.
just one of those feel good songs.
Yeah, I love
It's
it.
it's what I know Shanice for is that
Sure.
song still to this
That's what the
day.
world knows her for.
Yeah, I think she
Is
went
there
on to
another
have a
song?
career, but that's what I know her for. Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana, which was a big deal. You know,
It's kind of a big
kind of a
deal.
big deal. Number 10, The Adams Groove by MC Hammer, followed by number 11, Too Legit to Quit by MC
I was
Hammer. Hammer 2 songs in the top 10.
Yeah.
Those are good times.
so
The hammer don't
easily,
hurt him.
He was hurting them.
easily my favorite top 10 list so far. Of all the top 10, I mean, of all the Billboard lists that we've looked at over the past few years,
Yes.
that's easily the best.
We knew we were going
Without a doubt.
to. We just needed to turn the corner into the the early to mid 90s.
Yeah. Took us 2 years to really get past the 80s.
Right.
From-
There's still some
It took
hangover.
2 years for people to. Yeah, they were like, "Oh man, the '80s kind of sucked," and it took us 2 more years to figure that out.
The way we
Thank you.
right.
80s was kind of lame.
So in our Madden Men, previously we were doing the Ultimate 90s playlist where Wesley would pick 3 and I would pick 3. Occasionally Cass would join us and pick 3 from these playlists. And it was always easy enough, you know what I mean? Like, you would be like, I'll get it next month or something sometimes. But, sometimes you'd struggle to find 3. And
Sure.
that would, I mean, I'm just to number 12, and we probably would have both picked up, 3 songs by now.
For sure.
Narrowing it down to 3 would be the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So it just gets out of hand. You got further down the list, you got U2 with Mysterious Ways, followed by Tevin Campbell, Tell Me What You Want to Do. Here's Bolton at number 19. When a Man Loves a Woman. Rod Stewart still doing it with Broken Arrow.
Rod Stewart's that dude, bro.
He is. Guns N' Roses on the charts, an old favorite of mine. I'm done with them nowadays, but you couldn't tell me anything back in 92 or 93 about Guns N' Roses.
Then you had OPP and Forever My Lady.
Man.
Yeah, all winners. All winners. I kind of dislike OPP now that I'm for real an adult.
Yep. I thought about that not too long ago, like how, when we're 12, 13 years old singing it was so cool, and now I'm like, that's disgusting.
Like, I might kill you. I'm not sure. Might kill you.
That is no way to live your life, Naughty by Nature.
Yeah. Wow, Tretch. Yeah, you come out with that song now, and you find out that Tretch is dead like Tupac. Like, yeah, he did make that OPP song.
Yeah, he was a little too promiscuous.
He's asking for it.
I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred. You guys remember that one? You gotta remember that one.
Yep, for sure. For sure.
And yeah, that's everything I see this big time on that top 40. So
Like I said in the chat, I can't believe Ooh Ah actually charted. I can't believe that. I mean, I guess if OPP made it,
of course, I don't remember that one. I mean, I
Oh,
remember a
OPP
lot of
was
Boys to
legit.
Men.
I remember
but-
that. Wait, that was a Boys to Men song that was just on there, and it was on the Billboard charts.
and it was dirty.
I don't remember the words to it. I just remember that part, right? The ooh. That's what. Yeah, I guess that is a sex song. That's a total sex song.
Like the first words after they do the countdown is like injection or insertion fellows or something, isn't it? Like it's
Yes.
real dirty.
Shut up, Cass. I've never listened to that song for real. Apparently.
No, we should play it.
Yeah, that's what it says. Yeah. Oh, that's wild. Okay, whatever. I have to listen to it again, maybe.
Yeah,
So
make sure the kids are in bed.
don't hate me for this. Okay, so pause right there. That's the most Boys to Men I've listened to in God knows how long. And this is where I'm gonna test my friendship with Cass, where our friendship really gets tested now, Cass. I'm not even sure if I like him anymore.
Really?
Wow.
Like, I'm not gonna say that I dislike them. They have pleasant voices.
Shots fired at the friendship.
Not at all. I think that right. I'm with because whatever. I know Cass loves Boyz II Men, and I respect that. And they're awesome, and they have beautiful singing voices. I'm just good with not hearing their music.
Remember the boy? Here's the one that just talked.
So does that include Motown Philly?
Yeah.
You don't like Motown Philly anymore?
No, I like it all right. I think that it sounds great, and I'll never be upset by it. I'm just not sure that I'll ever. Well, whatever. I'm sure I'll let. So the thing about having Elena around is that I want her to hear the music that I liked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. That's just kind of a
Right.
thing. You play your music for the kids, right? Hey, I like this and I like this. Awesome. You like it too? Well, you like it because you're my kid, apparently. So I love you more now. Whatever. So maybe I'll play some Boyz II Men for her at some point in life. But I played a lot of music from my life to her and to Aaron. And I feel like I never played any Boyz II Men for Aaron, and I have as of yet to play any Boyz II Men for Elena. I'm saying that to you now more as a realization for myself as well.
Yeah.
That-
I mean, honestly, it's been a long time since I've listened to Boyz II Men. I know my wife wanted to go because they toured with New Kids on the Block, and my wife really wanted to go, and I was like, all right, well, Boyz II Men's there, so if I go, I'll see them. Not
Fair
New
enough.
Kids on the Block.
Yeah, I probably would have been down for that too.
Wait, they toured
But-
together?
Yeah, New Kids on the Block, Boyz II Men, and I want to say 98 Degrees.
Oh my gosh!
So weird.
Take all of the 40 to 50-year-old women's money. Just
Oh,
take-
yeah.
have it
So
all.
Weird.
All.
So, who's the headliner?
New Kids on the Block was the headline.
Probably
course
because they're
they
like,
were.
we're back and it's our show. You guys can just come along. Somehow,
I guess.
I mean, I think that's what it is. They're back.
Was New Kids on the Block more successful than Boyz II Men?
No,
Of course not, right?
I mean that's not even.
Not
I
even
don't even
close.
need you to finish the question. No.
Right. That's why. I feel. So the energy that you had with that, I feel, is so obvious that it becomes whatever.
But they're
Okay.
back, right? Like I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
They've been,
They're making
Touring.
music right now.
right.
Oh, okay.
or
Yeah.
they're making new music?
Yeah, yeah.
I just thought they were doing like a tour.
This is like their second. So they were together, and then a long time went by, and then they got back together, and then some time went by, and now they're back together. It's like their
Who's
third
your favorite
run.
New Kid on the Block?
Man, I don't even.
Don't lie.
what
You
is-
know their names.
No,
You know their names.
look, I know Donnie, right? So I'm gonna have to say him but I know he's not my favorite because he was the hoodlum of the group.
Yeah, I'll
gotta
say
look him
Donnie because from Band of Brothers, man.
Oh, I wish I didn't know these
okay.
guys' names.
Okay, so
So the
I decided which one's my favorite, but I don't know his name anymore. Like I could just point to him.
So there's Joey McIntyre, right? Who was the smaller one, high voice, kind of. I think he was the youngest one.
Yeah,
Then there's Jordan, who I consider the leader. And whatever, I
that's
probably
the-
like him.
both of them put out
Can you-
solo albums like not all that long ago.
Well,
Okay, if you guys can see the
we're
video,
both
I linked,
old, so I'm with you when you say not that long ago because we were in our 20s, maybe late teens. But I'm going to say 20s. But both of them had good singles. They both of their albums had at least one legit single. And the reason why I'm going to say Jordan is my favorite New Kid on the Block is because his single was the best. I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, he had that very upbeat.
Let me give it to you. How did that song go?
man, I still
Wait, that
haven't
was-
found my favorite New Kid.
I I've got it on my Spotify.
That was in TRL days, wasn't it? Was it that long ago?
Uh,
Oh,
I'm gonna say that Jordan Knight song came out around.
Like I just picture him and Carson together.
Maybe
I don't know why.
TRL was never really my jam. So like I don't feel like I have a real appreciation for the years of TRL. Like I'm not gonna say I never saw it, but like the span, I couldn't tell you.
Wesley,
But Jordan Knight was awesome. He's got a good song.
Can you see the Discord screen right now?
Yep.
Who is that guy?
That is the fifth Beatle, or that's Ringo. I don't know what that
Oh
guy's
man,
name
I
is.
liked Ringo.
Right on.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know which one that is.
It's hard to even
Hanging
figure
Tough,
out.
I remember when the video came out.
Oh man, I was hanging tough. We're rough.
I watched that. I liked that song for all of about 18 hours. And it was like, and then at some point in school the next day, it became, or maybe it wasn't that quick, but really, really quickly, it became yeah, those are for the girls. Those guys are for the girls. Like, okay, well,
I'll
forget them. They suck. I don't like New Kids on the Block.
I'll just have to get on the floor and do the New Kids dance when I'm home alone. So,
Nope.
yeah.
Nope. When I exited them from my life, they were gone. I'll see you later.
That's right.
Now,
we were at that age where we didn't. It was like just at the borderline of like, oh, we can't just like music. Those are just for okay. Those are for the girls. Okay.
Yeah, that was serious.
Well, all right then. That's unfortunate, but okay.
But they were popular enough that you couldn't avoid their music. So whatever. There was a couple of.
Like if you went to a skating.
I'm not gonna act like I don't know the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I know the songs.
You could just quietly enjoy the song without letting anybody know.
I'm gonna lean more toward quietly not hating the song because I took that when Morpheus handed me that pill and the world is going to change. I took the pill that said these guys suck and they're lame and they're for girls and they make girl music. And that's the way it is. And there's a certain amount of distaste in my mouth or in my heart for all boy bands. It just is what it is. Like, it's another boy band. So you know what I do? I'll ask the question. Like, okay, you guys, this is a band. This is a group of guys making music. Did they know each other before they became a band? And if the answer is no, then I hate them a little bit.
But if it's yes, it's a little more okay.
Absolutely. And that's why Maroon 5 is awesome. They're the best thing running right now to me. I love everything about them. And it's because they're real friends who made music together and came up together. And they're not some artificial thing designed to trick me into liking them.
Yeah, I think New Kids started that formula of like finding a group of people and putting them together.
So
who was
I
it
said that once before, but Amy rightly corrected me and said, well, there's Menudo who's been doing it for decades, who's doing it for decades, and like other groups had done it before. But as far as we're concerned, that's entirely true.
Didn't Suge Knight put together some boy band?
I want to say he did try that. I
don't guess it was them, but I felt like there was just a similar situation that came later on.
I think New Kids is I think the same people that did New Kids did like Backstreet Boys.
I think
so.
I've heard
The same guy who did New Kids was actually the manager for New Edition. He was the manager for New Edition, and they were doing their thing, but he was ripping them off. So, or something. He ended up, there was bad blood between him and the group, so they fired him. And they went on to do their thing, but he was like, hey, this boy band thing, I can totally do that, and I'll be way more successful if I get white boys. So he did. And he made a mint off of it.
I think your story is the story that I was putting together in my head in some weird, twisted way. But yes,
Yep.
I do remember hearing this story.
Both Boston bands, yeah, both.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all a bunch of kids from Boston. He makes it happen with kids, and I want to say there was another group as well.
Let me breeze through
Whatever.
some video game news for the month of January 1992 real quick. You guys just it's one of those stop me if you've heard it kind of thing. All right. Atari Jaguar gets announced in early production, coming out in about a year. Sega CD gets announced, launching later that same year in the U.S. It goes down as one of my favorite, probably my top 3 favorite systems ever. Sega CD. Big arcade games, Captain America and the Avengers, which follows that Ninja Turtle style 4 players at the same time formula. And
I don't remember that.
yeah, Captain
Oh.
America and probably Iron Man and I'm not sure, but and then
Hulk.
yeah, I think Hulk. I think one of the comic book ones like not Starfire, but one of the girls, and probably Storm. And then Terminator 2 releases as a hands-on shooter in arcades. NES releases of note Bucky O'Hare, Flintstones, which actually it turned out to ended up being a valuable game later on. MC Kids, and the MC comes from the word McDonald's. This is a McDonald's video game. If you guys have never heard of that, here's one. Tell me if you've heard of it. You're gonna love the name of this game, right? The name of the game is Monster in My Pocket. Based on
This is the life and times of Wesley Belcher.
I just when I read this game, I'm like, Wesley's not gonna he's gonna have fun with that one. But it's based on a line of toys that I don't recall.
Such a great name. Is that a monster in your pocket? Or are you just? That's not even a thing. Is that a monster in your pocket? In your pocket?
Was that the male version of Polly Pocket?
Possibly.
Has Polly Pocket been around that long?
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Might be one of those weird things.
Let's see if I could show you guys a picture of this really quick, but it's they were like these little small. If you guys remember the little muscle figures, the little like 1 or 2 inch hard plastic figures, they didn't pose or anything, but apparently just get them out of packs. May have turned into a show, may have turned in then obviously turned into a video game. A game called Treasure Master, which I've never heard of, releases on NES. But here's the relevant part about it. $250,000 given away as part of a contest partnered with MTV, including $10,000 in just straight prize money. And you had to tune in to MTV only for like this 12-hour period where they were giving the code away. I found out all about this today, right? You would get a code, it would open up some new parts of the game, I guess, and then like the first person to like play through that game would get a different, like completion code, which you would call back in with.
Is that right?
Yeah, I was like, this is
Shout
a really,
out to MTV.
yeah, it's a really weird and cool promotion with a game I've never heard of. Genesis releases Golden Axe 2, Road Rash, Donald Duck Quackshot, which are all pretty cool games. James
Road
Pond.
Rash was the one I think I remember.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've heard of Road Rash.
You'd ride on the motorcycle and you could like punch your opponents.
Yeah, for sure. Yep, that was Road Rash was. Not only do I remember it, I'm gonna shout out Road Rash because it was awesome.
It was awesome. Sega is pushing Game Gear hard to compete with Game Boy at this point. They released a Buck Rogers game on Genesis, and my question when I saw this was Buck Rogers still relevant in '92? I feel like I watched him as a 5-year-old in the '80s, so that's interesting.
So we're gonna say we watched him as a 5-year-old in the '80s, and it felt old then.
Right, and I felt like I was watching reruns of
Yeah.
something from the '70s. Yeah,
I hear Buck Rogers and I just see black and white. Like,
Yeah, I think my mom watched that, or at the very least, my mom's little sister watched it.
Sega not exactly answering the Treasure Master NES call, but did a little thing of their own. They released a game called Troubleshooter, also a game that I never remember, but it had surprise cards inside boxes. Only 7 cards total. 5 cards would win you a Game Gear, and then 2 cards would win you a spot on a television show. And I just thought that was interesting. But like, what if no one ever bought the game? You know, like who knows? Like it's at the back of a shelf somewhere. You know. So, RBI Baseball 2 comes out on Genesis, and then Super Nintendo is still early. You know, it released the previous August, so it's been around 4 months at this point. Releases Home Alone, ActRaiser, Lemmings, SimCity, Pilot Wings, F-Zero, notable releases for that. Neo Geo's released is too expensive for anybody to ever know anything about. Yeah. TurboGrafx 16 releases Darkwing Duck and Ys 3. Game Boy releases Adventure Island and Jordan vs. Bird. Did you guys ever play any incarnation of Jordan vs. Bird?
Yep.
On the NES.
Yeah, one-on-one basketball. I remember renting it and being terrible at it.
Yeah.
GamePro is promoting their TV show, GamePro TV, which I think would be a fun one for us to Mystery Science Theater our way through one day. And the back cover ad, which is usually the big money game going on right now, is Addams Family, the game based on the movie, based on the 60s television show or whatever, featuring one Raul Julia and who was Morticia, because she did a good job in that movie too.
Oh, Random Lady Number 2.
Yeah. And there's the
who was a little bit hot, right?
Right.
At very least, the hormones were full on raging, and I just
she had
with
kind
a
of
monster in my pocket.
A classy beauty to her, Angelica Houston. That's who it was.
Yeah, that's her name.
Awesome. She had a classy beauty to her, pale and dark skin, or dark hair, long dark hair. That'll do it for me.
That's my game news, and that wraps up the coverage of January '92. Any final thoughts?
The 90s are really starting now for our conversations.
You're right. Yeah, it does. This feels more '90s than most of the '90 and '91 stuff that we went through.
Yeah, let's get some of this Mick Jagger and. With all due respect to Christian Slater, we get him out of the scene as an actor, and we've officially let go of the 80s. So we're on our way.
We're on our way. Yep. So all right, we'll hook it up with February '92 and see what's to come soon.